So, welcome back to the What Are You Into Lately segment. Typically, in this segment, I'm interviewing folks about what they're into pertaining to like their businesses or some like social impact topic. But today, I felt like we should go a little more serious, a little more important, a little more, there's a lot going on in the world. So, why should we waste our time on the unimportant? So, we're going to talk about pop culture because it's extremely important to distract us from this world, especially lately.
Mhm.
Oh, really excited to have two great recurring guests here with me today to close out the year. We've got Keenan. Keenan has been on the podcast probably, I wasn't sure, I was like three other times at this point. He's a frequenter. So he is a perpetual consumer of culture, film, music, and media, spends endless hours ruminating on how entertainment is deeper than it looks, which we love. We love a critical thinker. And he helps others learn more about how to experience the joys of creative works and of making their own art. So,
Mm.
a connoisseur, one may say. Welcome, Keenan. Thanks for being
Thank you.
here.
Yeah, I always love to be on Jadonna Live.
You know, and then there's Daniel, who was requested to send a bio to me and literally told me today, oh, it's fine. So go ahead, Daniel. Why don't you
Yeah,
introduce yourself on the fly for the listeners?
no, I'm your husband. They know me. The audience knows me. Come on, I'm in no quantity at this point.
Okay.
I'm into nerdy things. I watch a lot of TV, watch a lot of sports, watch a lot of movies, all the things. And I know
I
you.
know. Now they know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Daniel, for that illustrious, riveting bio. So,
Mhm.
today, Daniel, Keenan, and I are in, like I said, pop culture world. We wanted to keep last year's traditional live of wrapping up our favorite. I think last year we did the top 5 favorite pop culture picks of the year. So this year we're doing 3. And so, yeah, each of us selected 3. And we'll take turns chatting with you about our favorites and why. There may be some overlap. Of course, there'll be some honorable mentions, which Keenan so graciously introduced us to last year. And
Love a
yeah.
trendsetter,
You didn't have like a top 13 last year, I'm pretty sure.
basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and kick it off because, time is of the essence. So,
It is.
Keenan, without further ado.
Man, I get us started. So, you told us to make 3, right? And I was thinking, like, how do I possibly encapsulate so many great moments in 2025 into just 3 things? I feel like that's an impossible task almost. So, what I want to do is what you kind of teed up is I'm gonna give a little runner up first. So I'm gonna do a technical
I made you
fourth,
first because I know you.
a technical fourth before I get to my actual official list. Love is a strong emotion. Some would say it's even the best emotion. It's a feeling, it's a thought, it's a vibe. But in 2025 in particular, I think a case could be made that hate was high up there. I think 2025 was a year for the haters. And so what you might be thinking is, okay, how do you define the hater? So I think a hater is someone that has like a deep vitriol and desire to either see something fail or to revel in its loss and demise. And if that is something that you could think of in this year, I think that happened for you. So let me give you some case examples. So back in February, the very first thing that happened when things started off was we had the perennial dancing on the grave of Drake when we had the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime show, where everybody had the memes of him looking at the camera and singing Not Like Us and being called things that nobody should ever be called, whether or not they're true or not. Right. So that's how the
No,
year
call a
started off.
pedophile a pedophile if it's true.
We on YouTube now, so I don't know. We can say on YouTube. So that's how the year started off. And then we moved on to some smaller skirmishes throughout the year. So, namely, one, Taylor Swift had experienced a lot of backlash this year, namely because like she had her little album run, and with this recent album release, there was a lot of memes at her expense. A lot of people kind of talking about how she's a billionaire and how there's certain things that billionaires should be doing or not be doing with their money, right? And then most recently, she had one of her songs be used in a Trump TikTok, and she didn't say anything about it. And similarly, her contemporary Sabrina Carpenter had the same thing happen, and Sabrina immediately went and said, "Hey, this is not matching my politics, baby. Let's not do this today."
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other people did too. So it's just like,
Olivia Rodrigo.
yes. So if you were a hater of Taylor Swift or Drake, big year for you. But then also related to that Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs lost, right? They was on a run, a hot streak. This was supposed to be their like big three-peat that they thought nobody else could do. And it was a very sad time if you were a Kansas City Chiefs fan. And on that same note, we are now at the season finale of the NFL as of this recording, and the Chiefs now have basically no chance to get into the postseason.
They're out.
And so this is the first time in since 2014 or whatever that they've had a free ride to get into the playoffs and potentially into the championships. No longer there. So if you're a hater this year, this has been a good year for you. You have had so many things that you can just take your energy out on. Let's say your idol this year was 50 Cent, and you saw what he was doing with the P. Diddy stuff, and he watched the documentary, and after the documentary released, he went on the news and kept talking about it even more.
He is
peak hater.
Something
Peak hater. So if you were drinking your haterade all year, this is what you got. Is there any other things that you guys hated, or things you saw that kind of helped my case?
That's gonna be the title of this episode. The
year of the hater. Was there
love-
anything y'all saw? Am I making this up?
No, I feel like that's just been the energy. I think it started with Trump's election. Personally, that's where my hating kicked off. And so I think that kicked a lot of people into either hating energy or what's even worse, just apathy,
Yeah.
apathetic energy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that a little more, but I definitely get the themes, and that feels incredibly appropriate. And just with all of us being on social media all the time, I feel like just the comments, I just feel like every year it becomes more and more apparent how shitty people are,
Yeah.
and how much people will put a ton of their energy towards something in a negative way. Even if it was positive to some people, the hater energy will still just rise above. So
Yes.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Feel like you all pretty well covered it. Definitely the Super Bowl stands out as a major, calling out Drake and everything.
Sorry, I just thought about did Cowboy Carter come out this year or was that last year?
I think it was last-
Right at the end of last year, I believe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay. So
Right at the
never
beginning
mind.
of last year.
That's not as relevant, but yeah, I'm thinking about all the Beyonce haters and lots of haters, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haters Paradise. So I'll get to my actual number one now. So I think so. Like Daniel, I'm a TV enjoyer, a TV watcher, so to speak, and this has been a heck of a year for television.
Great
There's
one.
so many good programs that have come out this year. I think if you just take the number 2 alone, so many great season 2s came out in 2025.
Yeah.
Peacemaker season 2 came out.
Let's go.
James Gunn's story about a lovable loser played by John Cena. Come on. Also, Andor season 2, the mature Star Wars political thriller about conspiracies, but then also community. It's a very beautiful show.
Yeah.
Then also The Last of Us. Yeah. And The Last of Us season 2 came out this year as well. Pedro Pascal as a grizzled older man, and Bella Ramsey trying to figure out what life looks like in the post-apocalypse. Can they work together?
That was this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this year. A lot of stuff happened. And then we also had a just bounty of riches as far as new things that came out too. So The Studio came out this year, which is basically a TV show for a lot of film nerds. like myself.
Mhm.
Just a lot of references to film and the film industry itself. Just a huge and hilarious comedy that came out this year. Daredevil Born Again, that also happened this year too. That was a very fun little revival where our superhero by night, lawyer by day, that all
Yeah,
happened. Um,
Blind
you
Justice.
did watch that.
yeah, it was a really fun show. And then HBO had its own little stint as well. So Task, the Mark Ruffalo and Tom Pelphrey joint. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty solid. It's an FBI agent and a criminal, obviously on opposite sides of the law, and figuring out, can they catch each other? A beautiful, wonderful cat and mouse game. Highly recommend. And then what just happened, what just ended just this last weekend, it Welcome to Derry, the
Mhm.
prequel for It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
I
If
need
you
to watch.
haven't seen it, yeah, it's solid. It's very, very solid. It's a
I love
prequel
that
to it. And if you don't know what it is, it's about the creature named It, often taking the form of Pennywise the clown. And he terrorizes this town in Derry and preys on all these children. And
Wait,
so who
but
knows what
Keenan, none of
happens?
those are your pick, right?
No, not a single one.
Wait,
So my
can we
pick,
get there? Can we get?
my pick is a TV show on Apple TV Plus. So my pick is not Severance season 2, which also came out this year. It was all right. It was a little spotty in places. My pick is Pluribus. So it's a science fiction TV
Ah,
show that just came out, and it's all about this woman named Carol Sturka, played by Rhea Seehorn, who's perfect and fantastic in every way. But she plays this woman who is she's kind of unlikable initially. She's trying to figure out her way, but that's sort of the point, is that she is someone that's a little tough around the edges, but she also has like an idea of what relationships looks like and how she wants to embrace them. And so the whole show, Pluribus, is figuring out what happened and also how Carol evolves as a character. If you're someone that is a little bit jaded in general, I think you'll really find a lot to love about Carol. If you're someone that's a hopeless optimist, you might be a little annoyed at a lot of points because she is someone that is very tough to kind of love. But if you have seen TV shows like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, this is from the same guy that created those. So Vince Gilligan, who was a genius and mastermind of a showrunner. So, if you know him and you've seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, you're in for like kind of a slow burn, but something that's going to pay off infinitely when you reach the end of it. So, highly recommend Pluribus. When I was watching the show, it just wrapped up its first season just this last night. I just
oh,
feel like every time I watch it, I find new emotions and ways for me to just think about my own relationships, whether it's like friendships or
Interesting.
companionships, or just like how I feel about my own career and life. If you're a deep thinker, I highly recommend Pluribus. So that's a TV
hmm.
show that I latched onto this year, and I think it will become more of a pop culture moment as the year kind of marinates in 2026 and people start to find it more. So that's
Yeah.
my number one.
I've heard a
Nice.
couple
Yeah.
people. You just
You're you're not the first to recommend it. One of our
yeah.
good friends just said, "Are you watching Pluribus? It's insane. You gotta watch now."
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely get on it at some point here.
Yeah, and I said
Cool.
very little because I didn't want to spoil the show. So just watch episode 1 and you should be hooked. And again, just hang with it for a while. Very, very solid.
Okay.
Nice. Gotta get into it. Okay, now it's me.
Now it's you.
Well, Keenan, you already mentioned my number 3, in a very positive light. It's Severance season 2. Speaking of all
Nice. Yeah. I loved it.
it was great. It was absolutely flawless. I really respected Severance season 2, not only because I mean it was maybe the most highly anticipated season 2 this year. I mean there were several, but I think it more or less delivered. It's definitely an emotionally divisive show. Like people finished season 2 and they had a lot of feelings about it, myself included. And I think
Yeah.
that's the mark of a great show, that
Yeah.
like you are not apathetic whatsoever. You're like you have very strong reactions to it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they went in a really fascinating direction in terms of, if you've know much about Severance, I won't spoil too much, but um
Spoilers are if you we will spoil whatever we want to spoil.
no,
If people haven't seen it at this point, they don't care.
I'm just saying they go in a pretty cool, fascinating direction of like they have the whole dynamic of the innie and the outie, and they sort of like plant the idea in season 1 that like, oh, these might be two kind of different personalities. In season 2, you find out like, no, they're pretty much different people, and they have different desires and beliefs and perspectives and everything. And they really, really dive into that, and it comes to an absolute head in the season finale.
Yeah.
And we shall say an innie makes a very different choice than an outie would, and a lot of people have a lot of feelings about it, myself included.
Heartbreaking.
Yes, like, "Oh my gosh, where do we go from here?" kinda moment. Um, I don't know, I really ate it up. It was one of those shows that as it came out weekly, it was one of those, water cooler type shows, like,
Yeah.
you're always connecting with people wherever you are because everybody's watching it.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my gosh, did you see this episode, um, with Irving? And oh my gosh, did you see what he did?" And, like, all this stuff, like, all the characters are doing some amazing things. And there's always like some shocking moment that happens. So yeah, I don't know. I love Severance a lot. I think it's like peak television right
Mhm.
now. It's not perfect, but it's like must see television for sure. It's really well done. So yeah, that's my number 3, Severance season 2.
That was a great one. Great pick, great pick. I think what I'm about to say was this year. I was struggling to find a third, but Paradise season 1, didn't that come out?
Yeah. Yep.
Is it
That was
this
this
year?
year.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Right at the
So I
beginning.
was I was really searching my brain to try to find something for like every quarter because I feel like recency bias always takes
Yeah.
over when it comes to these sort of lists and thoughts. So I'm like, I have something for July, have something for like November. I need something at the top of the year. And that's what Paradise was. So if you are unaware, I can't remember what network it's on, but
Hulu.
Paradise,
Hulu.
yeah, we were watching it on Hulu. It stars Sterling K. Brown, James Marsden, and a handful of other folks.
Mhm.
And it's all about a president who makes decisions for the population to survive, whether they were ethical or not, and people on his team and how they kind of navigated it, and who it left alive, who it left dead, and kind of how they
Mhm.
move forward from there. And it is a very kind of morbid but like enthralling series that I think caught me off guard because I just watched because Sterling K. Brown was in it, and
He's incredible in it.
I knew it was the same either producer, director, or showrunner as This Is Us. I can't remember which one of those titles, but that person was affiliated as well, and I knew they had a good relationship with Sterling. And so I was like, well, if they're a part of it and Sterling's a part of it, I'll watch it. And it proved to pay off. I think it'll be one of those shows that gets better with time, similar how This Is Us did too. Like,
Mhm.
I think as the story develops and they get more characters, like Shailene Woodley, she's in the second season that's coming out next year. Divisive on, who really loves her as an actor and who doesn't, but I think if she's in something that it's a good fit for her, I think she could do a really good job.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm excited for the next season. I feel like some people knew what it was, but I feel like there's still a ton of people who can learn about that show and that it even exists. Anyone we told about it and told to watch it was really, really into it.
Yeah.
So I think it's got a lot of potential to do even better. And I would love for Sterling to get another Emmy nom from
Yeah.
this in the future. But
Absolutely.
as Keenan said at the beginning, there's so much good TV out. I don't know. So many good things out. So they'll have to kick it up a notch even more.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You've got something to say.
Oh, I was just gonna say if people haven't watched it, they should just watch the pilot. Like if the pilot doesn't hook you, then I'm not sure that you're gonna watch the rest of it. But it's a fantastic first episode that
I
really
don't
gets
even
its hooks
remember the
in
first
you.
episode.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
great show. Great show. Okay, back to you, Keenan, for your
Okay.
number 2.
Okay, so I like movies a lot. Movies are great. Movies are often a signifier of where the culture is, right, and
Uh-huh.
where it's going in the future. So something that I noticed this
Or
year, or what?
it creates it in real
Yes,
time
that's true.
and not the other way around.
That's true. But with how filmmaking works, you got to write a script. You got to so sometimes it could be a signifier of what's just recently happening or what's coming up. But yes, good point for sure. But I noticed this year the movies I've been drawn to a lot, and what the box office has been taking on to as well, the place that receives the money for movies you guys go see, is comedy movies. I've seen a lot of comedies this year. So, for my number 2, I just have a whole genre, which is comedy movies. Now, you might be thinking, wow, this is a good way for you to cheat and just pick a bunch of stuff.
You never
Not
know.
necessarily. Not necessarily. So I
I
do
love
have
it. I love it. Why not?
I have one specific comedy movie that I am going to
Okay.
highlight in particular.
Okay.
But just to illustrate my point, just like how Jadonna kind of kicked this off, laughing with other people, being in good spirits is a great way to just uplift your mood. When I'm sad or if I receive bad news, there is not a better cure for me than sitting in a dark room with a bunch of strangers and everyone giggling and laughing at the same exact things on screen. It's a beautiful thing. It's about the only time where I enjoy being in the same theater as other people. Typically, I like to go to showings like nobody else is there. Like, I don't want to hear anybody eating
Like, it
popcorn in
depends
my
on the
ear.
genre of the film for you?
Yeah, yes, highly, yes.
Ooh.
So comedies, I try to seek out. Let me see when the most people are going, because it's a good
Okay.
time to have that group activity, that communal laugh, that guffaw, that belly from that deep in your spirit type laugh.
Come on now.
Do you
That's what I
feel
like to see.
Do you feel like you laugh more with a big group
Of course.
versus if you're by your?
Yeah, it can depend. I could go either way, but it's just more fun when you just have everybody around you.
Sure. Okay.
So with that in mind, there's a few movies that I loved this year. So The Naked Gun came out right at the beginning of the year, right in the
Who's in that?
springtime
I've
area.
seen it advertised, but
Liam
Liam
Neeson.
Neeson, Pamela
Oh, that
Anderson,
looks
fantastic
good.
cast. So would recommend seeing it. It's a satire
Possible.
on law enforcement and detective work. It's like a joke a minute type movie. Think like Scary Movie, like back in the day. It's a satire. Like it's one of those films. It's very funny. A lot of visual gags that keep you just on the edge of your toes. Another
And
movie
they
I saw
dated
this
for
year.
a little bit right after it, but not anymore.
Yeah, very much so. The other movie that I liked a lot was Friendship. That came out this year as well. So if you don't know what Friendship is, it's a movie starring Tim Robinson and Paul
Yeah.
Rudd, and it's all about male friendship in your 30s. And if you're an older
In your
man, you know how difficult
30s?
it is. Yeah.
Paul
30s,
Rudd ain't in his
40s.
30s?
Well, they're older people. They have full lives, and they're men just trying to figure out how they can be friends. Like, what is friendship like as an older man? It's a very specific type of comedy, but Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd pull it off perfectly. Great movie.
Wait, before you move on, what else is Tim Robinson in? I don't know who that is.
I Think You Should Leave is his big TV show on Netflix.
Yeah, he's a big comedian
I
right
think
now.
you should leave.
Yeah, you've probably seen a lot of memes of him. He's the guy in like the hot dog costume. Like, who's
I've
taking
shown you
care
a
of this?
couple of his clips, and you were like, "This is really dumb."
It's a very specific comedy. Yes. So if you like social awkwardness,
I'll look it up. Tim
he's your
Robinson.
guy.
I mean, he has my last.
Two other comedies that I love before I get to my big one is Weapons, which is a movie that typically is associated with horror, right? It's about this town where a bunch of kids disappear and you're like, what happened? That's the whole mystery of it. But it is very funny.
I didn't know it was funny. I thought it was only horror.
It's
no,
funny?
there's a lot of humor in it. There's a lot of humor in Weapons.
Now I
would recommend it. The other movie that I think is pretty funny as well is another satire from Ari Aster, the sort of great horror figure that came out of the last 10 years. He did Midsummer. He did Hereditary. He made this movie this last summer called Eddington. This is a movie that is very funny. It's specifically about how the internet poisoned our brains in 2020. And it's about all of the things that you can think of that happened in 2020, just all thrown in there. And it has a great cast. Pedro Pascal is in it. Shout out to Pedro Pascal for the second time today. Yeah, really worth seeking out.
He was in everything.
He was in everything. He was in everything. The Journeyman, Pedro Pascal. And then the last comedy I'll mention is a comedy that if you have been in the film sphere for a while, you probably have heard about this before, but One Battle After Another. It's a movie about political activists. It is very funny. I would categorize it strongly in that category of comedy. It's all about relationships, in race, in the humor, in heartfelt nature of how all that works within like a political activism sort of sphere. There's a lot going on in that movie, but one thing you cannot say it isn't is not funny. It is very funny.
Wait,
Very
isn't
funny
that the
movie.
one with Tiana Taylor?
Yes. Yep.
And
Tiana Taylor's in it. It
DiCaprio.
is very good.
That's funny. Okay.
Also, shout out to Indianapolis native Chase Infinity. She's in it as well. I think it's her debut role. So Chase Infinity is in there as
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my gosh, good job, girl, for getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, great cast. So the movie that I want to land on as my favorite
you go.
comedy.
Your
What is your
favorite-
actual?
This is my actual favorite comedy. It's a movie about a guy who has high ambitions. They know they could be the best. They think they are the best, and they're not afraid of telling people that they are the best.
Door?
So, you might be thinking, I might be talking about Shooter Sanders. I might be talking about Timothy Chalamet. If you thought Timothy Chalamet, you'd be on the money. So the movie I'm referring to is a movie that actually, as of this recording, has not released yet.
I was about to say, how'd you
Has
see?
not released yet. So Marty Supreme is a movie that I think is the funniest movie this year. One of the best movies this year.
You got the Amazon Fire Stick? How'd you see it?
No. So I went to early premiere. 24 had a bunch of like little early premieres that they had. They invited like local press and all that type of fun stuff to come
Red
see it.
carpet?
How
Red
did you-
carpet, Keenan?
No. Just like people that write reviews and things. It's not anything like that.
Man, I didn't know you were on these lists.
No, you can sign up for stuff like this all the time. But anyway,
Okay.
I said all that, and the thing I want to reference is this movie is funny because Timothy Chalamet is a very specific type of actor. I think everyone has seen this clip, but do you guys remember last year, the Screen Actors Guild, when he won his award for Best Actor for Bob Dylan?
And he said he
Yeah.
wanted to be the best.
Yeah, he wanted to be like Viola Davis and Michael Jordan, which are two very funny people to choose. They're all great in their fields too, but just very random. Timothy Chalamet has this way of disarming you in a way you don't expect. He's very charming.
Yeah.
He's very alluring.
Yeah, Muad'Dib.
Yes, yeah, and there could be something dangerous behind
Let
it.
it die.
Shout out to Doom Part 2 last year, if
Yeah,
anybody listened to the pod
absolutely.
last year.
No.
So, Timothy Chalamet embodies all of that, but he's playing a character called Marty Mauser, who is a table tennis player. So, just from the jump, concept is hilarious. Who wants to be the best ping pong player in the world? Marty Mauser does.
Dude, a lot of people.
I don't know how many people are in the
looking
table
for it.
tennis world.
I mean, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
But that's his thing. It's a very funny concept. But along the way, the thing you start to understand about who Marty Mauser is that he does have this confidence, this trust in himself, but he often sways between being very confident and also being a little scared. And you're never quite sure where that lands. And so it makes a lot of very funny moments in it. The cast is stacked. Tyler, the creator's in it. Kevin O'Leary is in it from Shark Tank. He's also really funny. Gwyneth Paltrow's in
And
it.
he's an actor?
He is in this movie, at least. The casting's very funny because it's also kind of like trying to put people in roles where you kind of see them as who they are. So like Gwyneth Paltrow is playing an older actress, and she is a older actress, right? Kevin O'Leary is this like capitalist, money-hungry guy, and he's playing that in the movie. And if you are a Shark Tank fan, there's like lines and things that often feel like he's just being Kevin from the TV show. And it's very funny to see. So, if you want a great movie to watch on December 25th, or really at the end of the year here, I'll highly recommend Marty Supreme and seeing it with a bunch of people. It is very funny. Timothy Chalamet has been making a meal out of this press run. He was in like a whole Drewski show recently. Drewski, a black comedian who does a bunch of skits online.
We know
Like-
Drewski.
Well, I'll just explain it for the people that don't know Drewski.
You also know Drewski.
He's also in a bunch of advertisements too. But Timothy Chalamet and Drewski had a crossover. He's been in a bunch of other like podcasts. So what you're gonna start seeing is just orange ping pong balls or orange things everywhere.
Notice the orange aesthetic.
It's gonna be a vibe. So I'm giving you a pop culture moment for my number 2. That's sort of a for future thing. You might
I like
see, Academy Award conversation. You might see other things like that. You know what I'm saying? This might be Timmy's year. Oh, Marty Supreme, but then also go see a comedy is my number 2 recommendation.
Okay, I'm gonna have to remind Daniel not to knock my table and shake every single piece of equipment
I didn't mean to.
that I have. But no, I've seen They were very strategic with this press tour because they really only started having him do it like a month ago, maybe
Yeah.
even less than that. Which is smart because it's like a saturated time of year. So,
Yes.
so orange is super juxtaposed with anything holiday. So
Yes.
that's also really interesting. You notice because I've seen him and like even his mom and Kylie all had like completely orange outfits on the red carpet, and it's a very specific orange as
Yes.
well. So
It's like Nickelodeon orange almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know it is. It definitely gave quirky. I had no interest in seeing it until you said it, just because I think Timothy is just everywhere to the point where I'm like, I get Timothy exhaustion, but not because of how he performs or his talent, because he's incredible. I'm just like, okay, guys, we're doing that thing where we obsess over one actor again and put them in everything. Go ahead, number two.
My number two, I'm not going to do as much of a preamble to mine. My number two is Sinners,
Nice.
film by Ryan Coogler.
Another one.
Yeah, starring Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld and Wunmi Masaku and lot of other really great actors. Um, this movie really caught me off guard. I kind of heard about it and I'd heard it was really, really good. Keenan, you had told me it was really, really good.
Stop shaking
I'm
that.
sorry. But I had basically overwhelmingly heard from everybody who I knew who had seen it that it was an amazing movie. I needed to go see it. So I actually went to go see it by myself because Jadonna was a little too scared to see it.
Well, and when you have a toddler, it's like you got to
Sure.
send one parent out to do the fun thing, the other one stays at
Sure.
home.
Jadonna was like, go scout this movie for me.
Also that.
And if you think I would like it, I will see it.
If it's not too scary.
If it's not too scary. And I saw it and I was like, this is an amazing film. It's not just a horror movie. It's like so much more. It's another one that's really funny as well, but
Yeah.
really charming. There's a lot of great messages in it. It's almost a musical in a way. Like there's music plays a really big role in it. It has one of the best original villains I have ever seen in a movie. It's so good. So if you haven't seen it, I feel like just about everybody. Oh my goodness, John, can you
my
turn your alarm off, please?
Sometimes you gotta remember to drink.
My goodness.
Hey.
I feel like everybody just about has seen it at this point, but if you somehow have not seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it like tonight or something. It's an incredible film. I've seen it, I think, 3 or 4 times now.
Wow.
And
You really rarely double dip like that.
well, here's the thing. I watched it in the theater, and then when it was available to rent, I watched it the night it was available to rent with Jadonna, but Jadonna fell asleep. And then the following night, we watched it together and Jadonna stayed awake. So there was at least 3 times. I think I might have seen it a 4th time at some point there, but yeah, it's a great movie. Everybody should go see it. Super, super good. A lot of people are like, "Will there be a sequel? Didn't we get a sequel?" I'm in the camp of this is fine as its own thing. Let's not make a sequel out of everything.
Yeah. Like I don't even know what a Sinners 2 would be. Like
Well,
Different movie.
there was a post credits, right? So that people are saying that would lead into the sequel. And I'm like, I don't know that I need to see that. I think this was pretty perfect as a one-off thing, and they just hint that like stuff continues after, but we don't need to see all of it. Anyway,
That makes me feel how I felt when friends told me last week that I guess there is going to be a new season of Ted Lasso.
yes,
I'm like, are you joking
season
me?
4. Yeah,
Why?
they won't leave it alone.
So anyway,
I'll probably end up watching it.
I won't. My second selection is Love Island USA. Sorry to my
Spicy.
sister. Sorry to my sister who is obsessed with Australia and what's the other one?
UK.
UK. It's not that one, babes. But Love Island USA, I watched for the first time this year.
Boy, did you.
I had never seen it. And I started it, I want to say in June. If you aren't aware, it's like a reality show that's based, it's like on Peacock, and it's all about young 20 somethings finding someone to match with through like sheer lust. So if you like a good makeout session, if you like the butt being smacked, if you like sexuality but like kosher because it's on TV,
I don't know how kosher it is.
Shout out to the Jewish community. You guys have had a tragic couple weeks. Happy Hanukkah to
Yeah.
you. Um, but it's really good and just juicy, and there's some games on there that are just kind of ridiculous, and there's a lot of just like drama. There is a new episode every single day of the week except for
Wow.
Wednesdays.
Huh,
So
it's a lot to keep up with.
you have a lot to keep up with. Exactly. If you have nothing to do, if you are bored, if you hate your life, if you hate your roommates, if you're just depressed,
Oh my
I
gosh.
really recommend it specifically for those demographics. However, if you also just have a lot of free time over the summer, which a lot of people don't, but I did, I was hormonally depressed. We can get into that later. Had a ton of time to just lay down and like veg out and watch, to the extent that when I was caught up on season 7, I actually went back as I was watching season 7 to watch season 6
Wow.
simultaneously. I
You're a
will
super
never
fan.
let's
Keenan,
just
it was nonstop. It was nonstop.
let's just say I will likely never watch a season of Love Island ever again because it was like too much. But what came of that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mind, for reminding me of where I was going with this. What came of that was my obsession with Nicolandria. Okay. Nick
Nick and Alandria.
Vanstenberg and Alandria Carthen. If you're unaware of who they are, I'm sad for you because they are a lovely couple. Shout out to Nick, who was just dogging people out who said they wouldn't make it to the holidays. He took a screenshot of a picture of them and said, "Here's my Christmas card, boo," to all the haters. They made it 6 months in, or is it 5 months in? But yeah, they're just a couple that didn't get together until the very, very end of the season. People were shipping them since like, I don't know, episode 20, and they're 36 episodes. So some people really saw early on. I can't say that I did. But once I did see it, I couldn't unsee it. You know what I'm saying? And so, Daniel, what is it?
I just have a question for you, Jadonna. How many TikTok edits of Nicolandria did you watch in total? In minutes and then an hour.
So, guys, like I said, I was hormonally depressed, so like a ton. It's all I did for a long, long, to the point where I watched someone who edited the episodes of the entire season. I don't know how they got the clearance to do that, and made solely a movie just about Nick and Landry's experience on
That's
Love
incredible.
Island.
And how long was it, Jadonna?
2 hours, 20 minutes.
All
And
on TikTok?
uh
It
no,
was on YouTube,
they
I
like
think.
Oh, I was like, dang, how
no,
they
they
upload
like
2 hours on there?
I don't know how they.
Or did they put it on TikTok in parts?
No, I saw it all in one. I think it was on YouTube.
Okay.
Most of us did. The Nicolandria Hive. All that to say, it's still going strong. And I'm not one of those weirdos who like is hyped for them to have a baby or to get married next year, whatever the hell. But I am just supportive. And it's not just because they're an interracial couple. I hate seeing people talk about swirly world. No, I want a black woman happy. That's what I care about. And he happened to make her happy. So
Shout out Big Belgian.
shout out Big Belgian. Oh God, what's Alandria's nickname? I forget. She has one too.
Ola. I don't know.
Okay, so we got another fan.
You have to say you're locked in now.
Purely by proximity.
So
I
anyway,
didn't ask to know all these things.
hashtag Nicolandria. Check it out. That's my number 2.
Okay.
It's incredible.
So for this final round, I am excited for Keenan to kick it off again. And this time he's got a limit of a 15 to 20-second preamble. Where he actually no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Let's say this one is short. So.
No, you're good.
Okay, so Daniel kind of teed this up a little bit. What my third thing is. So Sinners has a incredible musical moment inside of it where you are literally sort of just in a whole space when you're watching this segment of the movie that just transports you in a way that I've never experienced in a cinema or at home when I've watched it again. It's truly an incredible musical moment in a movie. And that's what kind of drew me back multiple times to seeing it in theaters. What my third pop culture moment is it is generally musical moments. So I was partially inspired by Jadonna's pick last year of Dochi's Tiny Desk concert. And I was thinking through, like, what other ways am I, like, experiencing music that's actually, like, stuck in my head throughout the year? And so I started thinking them through, and I have three primarily that have, like, really just latched onto my soul entirely. So the first one is Clips's performance of The Birds Don't Sing on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show. So, if you don't know who Clips is, they are a rapper duo comprised of Pusha T, who you might know from like Good Music and his own records, and his brother Malice, that they make music together underneath the name Clips. They released an album this year called Let God Sort 'Em Out, which is an incredible rap album.
Okay.
If I made a list of albums, it would definitely be like top three in there for me. But they performed this song called The Birds Don't Sing, and it's all about the death of their parents. And the perspective that they take in the song is either being one of their parents, their mom or their dad, or what it's like to feel the impact of that death and hear words from their parents just interchangeably by Malice and Pusha T. It's a really affecting song, and when you see them perform it on Jimmy Fallon, you can tell it's a really like deep and intimate song for them to have written, and then especially for them to perform. And this is a song that came out like pretty much like right before the album released, and so you get this deep, heavy dose of just parental affection and love and care for these two brothers. And then the rest of the album is like really heavy hitting hip hop that's just like banger after banger after that. But I would highly recommend finding that performance on YouTube, watching it, and just seeing how much they care about the passing of their parents, what legacy means and lineage for them as they now, I think they both have kids of their own. And yeah, just a really affecting performance. I highly would recommend it to anybody that has not seen it before. It's a song also where when I play the album in full, which I like to do, highly would recommend if you don't do this, play all your albums top to bottom. Do not
Yeah.
let it sit on shuffle. Experience the whole thing as intended by the artist. When I listen to the whole thing in full, I always like to skip that first song because it is very heavy. And it's not something I'm always in the headspace for. But it
Okay.
is very good, and the performance itself would highly recommend watching. So that's the first thing. The second thing is something I've already talked about, so I don't have to spend too much time here. The Super Bowl performance from Kendrick Lamar. A lot of the songs were from his album GNX that came out right at the end of last year. All bangers, a proper hip hop album. But then also the casting of Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam was very smart and kind of a bold thing to do at the Super Bowl, one of the largest stages you can get to perform something. So yeah, huge performance, lovely. And if you haven't watched it since February, would recommend revisiting it. I think there's things that like stick with you a little bit more when you see it more than once. And that's just how Kendrick is. He's a very smart guy. He's thinking through every decision that he makes. So lock into the symbolism, lock into the songs. Even the one that This Is Drake is a very fun performance in general.
Even the one that dishes true.
Yes. So my final thing, the actual thing that made me think, oh yeah, musical moments have really shaped my year and has been something that I stuck with entirely, is something you cannot find on YouTube, unfortunately, and you cannot run it back. And at this point, you will never experience it again, as far as I know. My favorite musical moment of the year is the Chromacopia tour run. So I went to go see.
Oh, you did go see
Yeah, I
it.
went to go see it. So Tyler, the
Okay.
Creator, did a tour for his latest album, Chromacopia. The Chromacopia, the album I talked about on the last podcast last year. Great album, highly recommend it. But here's the thing about this concert that I loved. One is that it reminded me of what it was like to just be in a room with a community of people that all love something. Like the fact that we all are here to like listen to this artist and to understand that this artist is going to be a true showman. Like Tyler, the Creator, you can say a lot of things about him. he is a showman above all things. He knows how to perform. He knows how to really make sure that you are listening to every word he's saying, and every movement of his body is intentional. It's a wonderful thing. So it reminded me of that. But then also, Tyler did this thing at his concert that I don't think I've ever seen another performer do. And I've been to a decent amount of concerts, but let me explain what this was. So, how Tyler had the stage set up is that there was a big green crate on the back end, and then there was this like manufactured like crane in the middle of the stage. And then there was one large platform in the middle of the room where everybody was kind of standing around. So Tyler starts the concert by doing some songs on top of the crate. Then eventually he walks across that platform over the top. And if you look down, you'll notice that there is now a living room just set up on that stage in the middle of the room. So he has like a little couch there. He has like a record player there. And he has like a little TV, all set up to be a living room. So when you're sitting there in the concert, you're like, what the heck? Why is there a living room and then a bunch of crates on the other side? What's going on? So he walks across that stage. He goes into the living room. And there's like a hush over the crowd. We're like, what's he going to do? What's happening? Because we all are just excited and jazzed that we are with someone that knows and cares about their craft so much. So he goes to this living room. He walks down. And when he's there, he goes to this crate of vinyls next to this record player. And what they do in the show is that they had a big screen above it that showed when Tyler put his hand into the crate and started fingering through the albums, we could see what the albums were. So he'd be fingering through these vinyls and it'd be like D'Angelo, and the crowd would be like, we remember that. We remember he loved that. Or he'll finger through it and they'll be like, Mary J. Blige. I'm like, oh yeah, he loved that. And we'll be like, that's that Outkast album that he referenced back in that 2011 interview with Nardwuar. We all know that. So the crowd's going crazy. I'm going crazy. My heart's pumping. And as he's going through this, he shows his own albums as well. So before he puts one of his albums in the vinyl record, he decides to put some of the other ones on. So he puts like one of the D'Angelo tracks on. And so now for about 40 seconds, the whole audience just vibing to D'Angelo for a minute. And it's just so cool to be able to be in a room where the artist is showing you their influences and is willing to like share that with you at the same time. And then eventually he did perform like his own songs. Like he grabbed like the Goblin vinyl record out. So he did Yonkers in the room. And that's if you know anything about Tyler the Creator, that's like one of his first big records where he's in that black and white video eating the cockroach. We all know what I'm talking about. But he performed that song live and he probably hadn't done that in years. It's fantastic. So the fact that you could be in this room, be with him, and that he found a way to celebrate his past and his present and where we think he's going to go in the future with this one tour was just a beautiful thing. And it's something that I am grateful that I got to experience. And I'm sad that no one else can experience it now because the tour's over. But it was wonderful. If you ever get a chance to see Tyler, I think it's worth it because, like I said, he's a showman. Like there's no one that's really doing it like him out there. And so, yeah, that's my last pick. Look out for musical moments in 2026 because I'm sure there might be some beautiful ones too.
Ooh, maybe that's a segment we can add
Musical moments.
more frequently. Yeah. Love that. Okay, what about you?
Yeah, so my number one is a sports moment or I guess phase of time. Why are you scared?
I'm scared because I don't get anything.
No, it's not the Colts, Keenan. It's the Pacers playoff run this past year. That was, if you're a sports fan, I don't care if you're a Pacers fan or not. If you're a sports fan, period, it was some of the peak sports, like epic drama that you could have witnessed unfold across. I mean, every series they played had several signature moments in it. Mostly Tyrese Halliburton hitting unlikely game-winning shots.
Yes.
Literally, there was, I think, 3 different games where there was like 2 minutes left on the clock, and the percentage of the Pacers winning was like less than 2%, and then they went on to win those games. And it was just incredible. I got to attend one of the games in person.
Nice.
one of the games versus the Bucks, where it was just like that. It was like, oh man, should we leave early? Like this is a wrap. Like it's over. And then all of a sudden they forced overtime. Then all of a sudden they came back and won it. And there were just several games like that. And basically every, NBA analyst did not pick the Pacers to win each series. They were the underdogs in every single one.
Full time.
And they just proved everyone wrong every single time. It was incredible. We had people from out of state, in LA or whatever, texting us and saying like
this
hey,
is
Pacers
fun.
are kind of having a moment right now. This is kind of excited for you guys, huh?
We know where Indiana is now.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, the Pacers are doing some legit stuff right now. They so much so that we got to attend in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's a bit of a obviously bittersweet memory, but in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Game 7, where they just showed it on the Jumbotron for the fans. So we were there.
But it was completely full, Gainbridge.
Yes.
It was like the only thing you were missing, obviously, was the players, but the energy, the vibe, it was palpable. Oh, it was so fun.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. So obviously, if you're not aware, that is the game 7, which is the final game that can possibly happen in the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton, the player I mentioned before, who had all these incredible moments, had been playing with I believe a strained calf, and he did tear his Achilles in that game, and it was
like 5
immediately evident. Yes, but before that, here's the thing: there's this alternate version of events of history where he didn't, and he had, what was it, 9 points in the first quarter,
crazy, yeah,
or something like that. So if you extrapolate that out to 4 quarters, it was like he was about to go on an absolute tear and just totally win the game.
Go on a tear.
Oh, well, I mean, go off and have an incredible game, like a generational performance. And not only that, but the Pacers at halftime had a lead versus the Thunder. And it kind of
without
Tyrese, and it kind of unraveled in the third quarter. Everything from then on is history, and the Thunder went on to win it. But the Pacers came as close as you can possibly get to winning an NBA Finals, which they've never done before in their history. It was an incredible time to be in the city of Indianapolis. It was an incredible time to be a sports fan, to be a basketball fan, and just watch these ridiculous performances. Every couple days, basically, it was like, oh, what are the Pacers going to do tonight?
Yeah, it was super
Oh, they're gonna write another record book, basically.
Because we were like, we got to watch the Pacers.
It was, I mentioned must-see TV. This was like must-see television in terms of sports, for sure. Extremely entertaining to watch. Extremely heartbreaking the way it ended.
Yes.
But all the same, some really amazing memories from that run.
And I would say, kind of piggybacking off of Keenan, oh my gosh, these little sounds just bother me. Piggybacking off of Keenan talking about like these kind of bigger moments within these smaller ones, I would say just Indiana sports in the past few years have just been so, I would say since we moved back here, and I would say before we moved here when we were in LA, also Rams won the Super Bowl, Dodgers won the championship, Lakers won the championship. So I like to think it's Daniel and I bringing the wins to the city.
Yes.
Because I mean the Hoosiers, their run this year has been crazy. We went to Ball State, chirp, so we're not, Indiana, whatever, like cool.
Shout out to Mendoza though.
But,
shout out to Fernando.
Mendoza,
Heisman winner.
Heisman, yes.
But IU has just been so fun to watch, and my brother-in-law, who's like a mega fan, he and his friends had season tickets this whole year, so they've been going
like every home game,
and
it probably costs like $10 before now.
Well, yeah, shout out to Purdue. Yeah, shout out to Purdue. But yeah, it's just been a really fun season to watch. And the Fever were really making a run before Caitlin got hurt, and
even after.
Yeah.
They were one of my honorable mentions.
Theirs is crazy too.
Yeah, they made it as far as they possibly could against the Aces, who went on to win the entire thing. And kind of crazy similar situation with Kelsey Mitchell getting hurt. Unfortunate injuries, but it's like, well, what if those injuries didn't happen? What would have been? It was a lot of that.
Yeah.
This year, but.
So we were super, excited this year with the Colts kind of doing the similar thing, and then that went to shit. So
we reached it. We reached the Colts.
Yeah, but anyway,
I was decidedly not in our top threes. Yeah. but it's worthy of a mention. But yeah,
Yes.
But I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here so we can keep this under the hour for all of our lovely listeners who've made it this far. God bless you. Wait, did I already do? Okay. My number one, not in any order, but would be Rosalia's Lux album that came out in November.
oh wow,
Nice.
If I know Rosalia, like obviously she's been on the scene for a while, the pop scene, but I was listening to like I think Discover Weekly on Spotify, and I know Spotify, we all have our thoughts. But yeah, there's that. But I still have my Spotify account, judge me later. But Rosalia just came up in my Discover Weekly. I had no idea. I'm like cleaning my room and I hear this song and I was just like, it started out, it was like orchestral. And then I heard some like, whatever. But I love like any operatic sort of like song, tune, vibe. Like I was trained classically in music. So when I hear anything like that, especially that came up on my Discover Weekly, I'm like
Yeah.
immediately intrigued. But then like bass drops and it was just one of the most interesting songs I'd heard in a really long time. And so I just went over, I'm like, what is this? And then it says Rosalia. I was like, Rosalia. And so that made me want to listen to the whole record, and I was just extremely blown away. Like I said, I know who she is, but I hadn't listened to her stuff before,
Mm.
and I was like, she is next level. Apparently she sang in 14 different languages on the record.
Wow.
And had just like Bjork, like I don't know, just like a lot
Wow.
of different interesting people on it. And I wish I knew Spanish because I'm like, dang, obviously that would enhance my experience, but that didn't matter. It was just such a good piece of art. And so I recommend people listen to that. Bad Bunny's album is another one that I really loved.
Yeah.
This year as well. I'm super hyped for him to do the Super Bowl. I hope he brings
Mhm.
Rosalia out, but I also want him to just have his moment. But yeah, great, great, great album. Her voice is next level. Like I was telling Dana when I was listening, I was like, there are people who can like sing, but what she was doing, I was like, I had no idea her voice was the level it could be. You can't shout out to Ariana Grande, I love you. But I think her vocal limits were shown because just because you can sing one way super well doesn't mean you can sing across multiple genres
Hmm.
and in a similar way. I love her. I don't love her voice on a lot of, or on a handful of some of the Wicked songs that just like don't sound crisp enough for me from a musical theater standpoint.
You're talking about Ariana specifically.
Yes.
Oh.
But Rosalia, I don't know where her training happened before she went into pop, but it's clear to me that there was some, because how she sings on this record is like, okay, you clearly knew how to do that just as well as you could do pop. And so I was just very impressed with her vocal to the point where I'm excited to listen to that again tonight.
Nice.
Rosalia to close out 2025. Hope she gets album of the year for that.
I'll have to add it
Or
to the Apple Music playlist that I have.
Apple
Shout out
Music.
to Apple
Yes,
Music.
yes, Apple. So ethical.
Hey, chill out.
Definitely love Apple over Spotify. But outside of that, I want
Add it
to
to my
say
Amazon Music playlist, my title playlist.
that's part of why I didn't get on Spotify. I'm like, are any of what are we?
Is there any good choice here?
You
Yeah,
know,
who's getting their
you're-
title wrapped? Let me see that. Let me see your title wrapped.
Oh, title.
What's
You don't know about title?
oh title?
Jay-Z's like,
Bro, I
yeah.
thought you meant like the title of my Spotify rap. You mean title wrapped. Got it. But really appreciate you guys coming on. Again, this will just be a fun annual thing, as long as we're live.
Oh,
That will
Sure.
do. And yeah,
A
it's
blood
been,
commitment.
I think that's a prerequisite to this for sure.
it's been
Yeah.
really fun. If you haven't heard of some of these things, feel free to just check them out. It's kind of fun. And again, close to the end of the year, we've got less time working. Well, I don't, long story, but most people have time off. So if you have time off, use it. Check out some of this stuff. Reach out to me at Jadonna, live@gmail.com if you've got any other recs that I left out. And we're just going to go ahead and close out here. I'll see you in January. This is the last uppy of the year.
Mm.
So outside of that, breathe deeply, Take it easy and keep doing what you do. Catch you next time. Same place, same vibe. Bye.
Bye.